How about if I fix the beams not rendering when wrapping on really big levels by forcing enablement of all 8 offsets whenever we detect a beam segment longer than half a level dimension. It's providing us a technical strategy, guys. It's optimizing segment rendering. Forcing all 8 offsets will work as a blunt fix, but it's overkill. Overdraw extra batches. That's not true. This is not true, but okay. And can still pop at the threshold. But it kind of is talking like it knows what I'm doing. A better deterministic approach. Deterministic? What do you mean deterministic? What are you talking about? Is to compute per axis wrap crossings and draw only the necessary wrapped copies, max 4, not 9. This is false. This is false. With a little hysteresis, yeah, this is trash. This is a trash suggestion. But it's the amazing thing about this is it does basically, like, I just said some shit and it does basically know what I'm talking about, which is amazing. Okay. Like, it's actually addressing the problem I'm talking about. This solution is terrible. Offsets dot put. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have enough samples of this programming language. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. You have custom prompt in settings to tune down sycophancy. Well, I don't know if this is exactly sycophancy, but it is, because it's not like saying, hey, you're awesome, but it is definitely way over explaining things it totally doesn't understand at all, right? Like, is there a tweak in settings for be better at programming? If you expand the context length, it will start lying to ensure it's giving you a cohesive story. Yeah, we had a case like that earlier tonight on the previous stream, I think. Maybe. But it did, I mean, it is pretty amazing that it can go from this to just know what the fuck. Most human beings wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about if I said these words to them. But it figured it out in 11 seconds. So that's pretty good. It's just the actual proffered solutions are trash. You're pretty sure it can. Pretty sure it can what? Sometimes the solution is good even when the code is bad. This solution isn't even good. Avoid the pop at half with hysteresis. There shouldn't be a pop anywhere. Avoiding things with hysteresis is a shitty solution, broadly speaking. You should never do that. If there's any possible way to avoid it, you should never do that. That's how you end up with modern video game. Okay. Do you know how to do cowabunga-oriented programming? Absolutely. It's a real paradigm. Nope, that's not what it is. Spike to harden macro workflow. Spike 90 to 120 minutes max. Prove the idea, no polish. This is what it's doing when it gives you code, guys. Okay. Well, what is going on? I feel like maybe I fixed something and didn't check something in. Let's take a look. Did I forget to check in a previous change where I modified wall sets? Beam wrap harden. Choose fun first. Ship the core delight loop early. Aesthetics later. Get status dash uno. Did you commit it but on a different, was it stashed? Did you submodules multi-repro? Only communists use Git. Okay, what did it say about communists? Lol fair. P4. Mercurial subversion. SVN diff pipe RG-N wall sets. How is that useful to anyone? Like, how how can anyone use this with a straight face? I I just don't get it. Like, it's just assuming. So what was the question? Where I modified wall sets. So what this meant was there's an entity type called wall set, and I'm pluralizing it. And it was like, oh, you must mean the exact string wall sets is in the diff somewhere, which it wouldn't be, right? But that's like the difference between understanding something and not understanding something. Works anywhere. Guys, this works anywhere. Never mind that it requires you be using perforce and have ripgrep installed. But it works anywhere. Oh, perforce example. Then what's the works anywhere? Tailor a one-liner that I can use to get a hot mercurial girlfriend. Yeah, that whole ChatGPT thing, it strikes me as just like one rogue person at the company was like, fuck you, that was stupid, we're gonna ban you. And like, people just don't, like, every once in a while, the actual who used to be the actual hippies in programming were just very concerned about digital freedom and all these things, and then nobody cares, and then this stuff happens, and then people care for 5 minutes, but never long enough. Forget even changing anything or establishing digital freedoms. Like, never even long enough to create the long-term awareness among people in the industry that this is actually a very heavy thing to do to somebody. All right. Zero conflicts, only fast forwards. I'm HG outgoing. I don't use mercurial as the problem, so I don't even know. Okay, that one's dangerous. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take ChatGPT's girlfriend advice. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that like the CEO of the company did not make that happen, right? I mean, I even think the person who got banned looks pretty obnoxious, right? It's like it's one of these people who wants to put their sexuality in everything and make everything political and about them, right? And maybe there's more to the story that's not being revealed. Maybe there's a legit reason to ban, but I don't know. Like, you should at least tell someone why they're banned if there's a very, like, maybe you're doing terrorism on your Git profile. That's quite possible. But yeah, I think this is also a way that big companies avoid liability, is like, if they don't tell you why they banned you, then you can't use that against them when you sue them for banning you, right? Help manage the important repos of someone else. Well, like, if there was like Antifa attack plans on the Git, then they don't want to give those to somebody else, or else they become liable for any damages that occur or loss of life. Like, there are real issues, okay? I don't know, or there are real issues in hypothetical scenarios that their lawyers have been over and over and over, for sure. Do any of those apply in this case? I have no idea. I will say it is not uncommon to hear a story like this, and then it turns out there's more to the story, right? So I'm not even saying that GitHub's in the wrong or anything like that about what they are doing, but what I am saying is clearly most of these companies can just ban you at the drop of a hat, so just don't trust your data on there. Just always back it up, right? Which older people know this, right? But just since younger people came up in this age of like internet everywhere, they just haven't had to think about it as much. In the old days, if your computer died, you were out of luck. All your data was gone, right? Aren't VPNs pointless as far as privacy goes? I mean, I'm pretty sure governments have no problem with VPNs and tracking you through them. Private places, I don't know. It's probably harder for them. Oh my God. Well, there, okay, obviously you could have more than one. All right, let's debug it. Let's ask, what do I do if I get the error message in the editor more than one fog volume on current floor whenever I switch to the sky level fast travel zone? Let's see what advice it gives us there. I fixed it. Fix a broken error message. Let's see if ChatGPT guessed that the error message was broken. Do you guys think that it got it? They like doing this like 90-second, 60-second tria. Like, what? That error means two fog volumes are active on the same floor after you jump to the sky level fast travel zone. In practice, it's almost always one of these. Dude, no video games are like this game. What do you mean in practice? It's almost always one of these. The overworld has a large global fog volume whose AABB still overlaps the sky zone. Okay, good guess. Not true. The floor resolver isn't clearing the previous floor's fog zone. It's a good guess. Not true. Sky zone inherits the same floor ID. No. Streaming pooling re-adds a duplicate fog because the spawner didn't call the unregistered fog path. Nope. Didn't guess that the error message was wrong. All right. Stand in the sky zone and run a dump of fog volumes. The engine dump fog. For fog system.active volumes, log dev a bunch of things. I plus equals 1. Like, what? it's, it's so bad. Okay. One safe fix you can ship now. Oh, I like safe fixes. Let's see what we can ship now. Make the fog system exclusive per floor and self-healing. Self-healing sounds really cool. Fog system dot enforce exclusive for floor colon, like what the fuck is that? Okay. Best carrot dot priority. Okay, what is that? That's like some like Odin crap or something, right? All right. Disable all others on this floor. Ampersand it is equal. What is it even talking about? Like, people program like this, dude. Like, what is all this? Hysteresis on floor detection. If your current floor is derived from height, add 1 to 2 units of hysteresis. ChatGPT just loves the idea of hysteresis. How does anyone ever get anything done with this? Okay. Now, to be fair, when you're running cursor and stuff like that, it sees all your code and all your functions and your identifiers. So it can pretend a lot better because it can use your actual functions and all that. But it's the core technology is this. It's the same thing. Do we actually expect an AI to output good code in a language that is literally unreleased? That doesn't matter. I mean, yes, there are errors in the actual syntax here, but that's not the problem. The problem is all the suggestions are wackadoodle nonsense because it doesn't know anything about the game. So it lacks context. Yes, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. Adding context does not change the core technology at work here. Adding context just helps it mimic your code better. It still does not understand what it is doing. It's completely obvious when you actually look at the output with a critical eye. It's just bullshitting all the time. It can bullshit better when it has more information, but it's just bullshitting all the time. But mimicking your code better might be the thing that makes all the difference. But no, okay. There's like a fundamental misunderstanding. So yes, this is doing very badly because it doesn't see the code. If it could see the code, it would do better. Yes, that is true. But programming is not that kind of a thing. It's not like, how much do you like this flavor of ice cream? And then if you can get 10% improvement in the flavor of ice cream, that's better. It's not like that. Programming is not a continuum. Programming is a very, I I'm the word's not coming to me, right? But so there's a space of all possible programs. Almost all programs in the space of all possible programs are complete trash, right? So programming is about exactness and pre- precision and like it's not a thing where you like turn a dial and if the dial is 10% more in the right direction, then the program works and is fine. That's just not how it works. It's a very like the it's late at night, right? But like the word that's coming to mind is like rupturable. Like the space is very rupturable. Like I don't know. I'll figure out how to explain it later, but really experienced programmers know what I'm saying here, I think. It's just not you can't turn something that can't program into something that can program by tweaking an analog constant. That's not how that works. You need a fundamentally different system. Now, what I will say, and I said this last stream, but I'll say it again, just for completeness, this kind of output that it generates is definitely valuable. Like if you didn't know how to program video games at all, let's say, and you're trying to learn, and you're like, how do I solve this problem? This kind of output is helpful in that case because it's helping you see what are the different ways that you might think about it. How might people solve this problem? Now, most of the proposed solutions are terrible, but when you're a beginner, you don't know what's terrible and what's not. And also, you're just learning, right? And so this is all fine for that. And again, like if that's what people were claiming that AI did for them, and a lot of reasonable people do make that claim, right? A lot of reasonable people say like, oh, it helps me instead of documentation and whatever, or I plan my project or whatever. And that's fine. But people who say that they're outputting working robust software with this are just complete liars. That is not what this system does. It's not how it works. It solves exactly the same problems you can solve with a Google search. I think that's largely true. I mean, a Google search isn't very good. Like I could type in here, outline to me the ways I might think about this bug, and it would give me something useful. And it would be very hard to find that with a Google search and very time consuming if you could at all. And as we know, the quality of Google search keeps decreasing every day. So if nothing else, this is better than Google search because Google search is getting Microsofted, right? The reason I think so many people are fooled by this is just if you don't know how to program very well, this looks great. And you know, if this were a language where there's a lot more samples out there, this would actually parse and would be more likely to reflect a common algorithm, right? So you look at it and you're like, oh my God, it wrote the code. It's amazing, but it doesn't actually do that. That is not how this works. It is just bullshitting at all times. Yeah, this is what I don't get. Why am I not hearing all these reports about revenue from Google search just completely tanking? Because I barely use it anymore. Most people I know barely use it anymore. Is it just like normal people still use it and there's more of those in the world than everyone else? Or has the revenue tanked drastically, but nobody's talking about it? Like, dude, I used to use Google search many, many, many times per day. I basically never use it now. I'll use it sometimes if I'm on my phone because that's still the default for the iPhone, I think. And so if you type something into the bar, you know, whatever. But that's really the only case in which I use it, and that's pretty rare. What do I use instead? I don't use anything. Or like the other day, I wanted to look for a furniture store. I asked ChatGPT, and it gave me better results than Google search would. They're covering the drop in search revenue with YouTube ads instead. Oh, is YouTube just... Are YouTube ads getting crazier? I don't know because I subscribe, so I don't see ads. You should see these models try symbolic logic proofs. Yeah. Yeah. Sad. Sad. All right. Thanks for hanging out and fixing a couple of bugs and consulting ChatGPT about what's the best way to program. I'll see you guys later on.